Hi, Dr. Paul Haider, Master Herbalist and Spiritual Teacher here, and with 9 ways to heal back and sciatic pain really fast. And you know, at one time in my life, many years ago, when I first met my wife, I had terrible back pain. I have 3 completely collapsed discs in my back, 2 fused vertebrae. When I actually hurt myself when I was in about 16, they fused naturally, and I have a triangle shaped 8th segment in my lumbar. So I should be in terrible pain, but I have no pain whatsoever now. And I'm going to go through a few things that I highly recommend if you have back pain that you should be doing, that you actually make a difference in your back pain. At one time I used to crawl screaming with every movement to get to the car to go to the hospital to get a shot for the pain, because the pain was so bad. And it used to freak my wife out. Not good. And it was no fun. I have to tell you, my back would just seize up. And you probably have experienced that type of thing. Or maybe you have the sciatica, where the pain is running down your leg, and maybe even your foot's getting numb and all kinds of things. I remember one time being at a symphony, and that was 30 years ago, 40 years ago, yeah, probably 35 years ago. And I was sitting there in such excruciating pain from sciatica. It was terrible. And I can tell you, it's no fun whatsoever. But nowadays, I don't have any pain of any kind, and I attest to that. And I'll get to the most important thing I'm going to cover at the end, which is, and I'll have some case studies to back it up, of my own also. And first of all, I'd like to get into little TENS machines, which are really great. These are little wonderful devices that help with pain. They're little things like this, and they have little patches that go on your skin, and they really do a good job of stimulating the muscles, and the muscles tense up and relax, tense up and relax, and finally the muscles just kind of relax. If you go to a physical therapist, one of the first things they do is put a very intense TENS type of unit on you to, actually help those muscles to relax. And they also go into other things, and they work really, really well. My wife swears by it. She has had knee pain because of surgery, and she uses it all the time, and it makes a big difference for her. And you can buy those at any drugstore nowadays for about less than $40, and they really do a great job. And the Journal of American Dental Association actually found that if they use a TENS machine on the person, actually while they're doing the dental procedure and even afterwards, people had less pain. They didn't seem to bother them at all. Also, the University of Washington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine found that TENS units actually work really well for relieving pain and from pinched nerve, disc, and degenerative processes, and even sciatica. And the Ottawa General Hospital in Ontario, Canada, also found TENS units really help with pain relief in all types of processes. So you're going to get a lot of things that people say, oh, they don't work any better than placebo. But I have to tell you, why do physical therapists use them? There's a reason there. There's no doubt about it, and they do work. Also, one of the most important things, I think, is human touch and getting a massage, having a relaxing shiatsu or Swedish massage or whatever type of massage that you really like, acupressure points, that type of thing. Pressing down on certain points and getting the muscle to relax can make the muscle tension disappear. And I recommend that everybody should get a massage at least once a month. I think it's super important, and it can help the tension and that static feeling of pain to just relax and let go, and we can get rid of those tense muscles. And tense muscles start to tense up around nerves, and they deprive the muscles of oxygen and food, and all of a sudden the muscles are screaming. And so we really need to get a nice massage. It's a wonderful thing. It's heaven on earth for me. I tell you, I like a relaxing, soothing, long move massage like Swedish, and I don't want anybody talking. Just let me be there. It's really good. Also, another thing that really works well is hot and cold packs. And alternating between the two can do a great job. You can buy the little packs at a drugstore, and you put those in the freezer, and get these hot packs that you can actually warm up in the microwave, or you can warm up on the in the oven, that type of thing. They do a really great job, and put them on your back. Oh, it's heaven. There's no doubt about it. Alternating between the cold packs and the hot packs, and things start to loosen up and feel good, and really does a great job. I think it's one of the best things there is. There's no doubt about it. When I used to have back pain, I would use especially I would take a sock, fill it with uncooked brown rice, and tie it off. And sometimes I would get neck pain, and I would stick that in the microwave and put that around my neck, and oh man, is that great? Really good. Does a great job. There are herbs you could take also. Devil's Claw is great for getting rid of pain, and it's been around for a long, long time. And taking 2 500 milligram capsules, two 500 milligram capsules actually will do a great job. That's morning and evening. And you could take that for about 7 to 10 days, and then you should take a break and then come back to it if you need to. Also, cramp bark, which helps with spasms, and that's what you probably have going on. So you're taking 4 500 milligram capsules of cramp bark will also do a great job of getting rid of the cramps. And you're not going to take this very often, maybe once or twice, and because once the spasms were let go, you're not going to take it again. So it does a great job that way. I find one of the most important things a person can do to get rid of back pain is to go walking. Absolutely, positively. I know it's very difficult, but sometimes you just got to push yourself. And I'll get into a story of a man I met. We go walking sometimes together. We kind of met as walking buddies at the mall. The mall has a circle of about a mile. Actually, it's 1.14 miles. And so I go there and do 2 hours, 2 miles with the dogs early in the morning outside. And then I go get another 6 or 7 miles at the mall because it's too hot here in the afternoon. So, and that is really a great therapy for the back, therapy for the mind. It really eases tension in general. I think it's really, the mind and body are connected, and we really need to take care of that mind and body together and work together and getting rid of all this tension and allowing ourselves to feel at peace. Also, meditation is really important because that allows us to let go of all tension in our body. And if you look at 2 ways to meditate, which I have a video about, it's very simple. It's just about focusing the mind on a particular thing like your breath or maybe a mantra. It has nothing to do with the religion. It's just allowing the brain to be free of stuff for a while. We're so busy with stuff that that busyness creates tension in our body, which is not good. And so if we learn meditation, that helps in a great way. Also, this is something I made, which is pretty inexpensive. It's called the Spinal alignment tool, which I coined. And it's just one of these styrofoam noodles that you buy for your pool, and cut it up and put the 2 pieces together. Actually took one and cut it in half, and then put the other one inside of it and glued it together. And I put that under my lumbar area and one smaller one under my neck, and just lay there flat on a flat surface like the floor. And this does a great job of, it's about 6-7 inches, maybe a foot wide, and put that under my lumbar area and lay down, and boy, it does a great job of getting the curve back into my back, and does a wonderful job of relieving back pain, especially if you have a straight back. If you tend to have a straight back and you don't have as much curve as you need to, then you really need to do something like this to help you get rid of that tension that's going on there, because you don't have the curve that you need, and it does a wonderful job. And it's so simple to do and so inexpensive to put together, and does a great job. Also, building up your core muscles. You know, you should have abdominals which push in and push on your back, your spine, and so that you don't have weak muscles. You have a big gut, it's holding, you know, kind of flopping out there. People have back pain, absolutely, positively. If you don't build up your abdominal muscles, you're going to end up with back pain. It's all that's pulling forward, and the weak muscles around the spine. You know, what we have is we have the head, the spinal cord, the spinal column and cord coming down, and between the thorax and the hips, there's nothing but a lumbar area, which is just a little bit of, you know, spine coming down, and that holds us everything together. We need to help it with the muscles being strong there, so that we have, you know, strong muscles to help support the spine, and that's really, really important. So doing crunches and doing them, you know, any kind of abdominal exercises that will build up the abdominal muscles really does good job. Sit-ups, crunches. I do a pull-up crunch, which is really great and does a great job in general. Also, another thing which I highly recommend is buying an inversion table. You know, we have a lot of discs, you know, all smashed together, and they're not happy and impinging on things. You know, when you hang upside down, you pull everything into alignment again, you actually bring moisture into those discs, and it feels good. I don't go a day without using my inversion table, and you can buy those on Amazon and eBay for, I've got one for about $115. So it's something I use on a regular basis. Some of them even collapse up, collapse down. You can stick them under your bed. Really simple to put together, and you just hang upside down for, I just do it for a couple minutes. It's wonderful. And then you come right back up. You just push your weight forward a little bit, and you come right back up. Then you lean back, it goes back down, and once you get it balanced, it's so simple, it kind of moves by itself. And it's super important for getting that pain to disappear. I won't go without my inversion table, absolutely, positively. It's one of the most important things there is, and it does a wonderful job, and you can't take my inversion table away from me. And my wife had terrible back pain and the sciatica there for a while, and she started doing the inversion table, and her back pain disappeared too. So, great thing. Really, it is. Also, the most important thing that one can do is change their diet. Almost 13 years ago, when I changed my diet and went on my whole foods plant-based diet and an anti-inflammatory diet, all of a sudden, within days, you know, all my pain disappeared, absolutely, positively. And I've met a lot of people with back pain, and they've gone on my diet, and their pain has ended up being zip and zero. So here's a particular man that I met in the mall. His name is Charles, and he had terrible back pain, and he was a guy that would go and walk in the mall like I do. And I said, Charles, what are you sitting down for? He said, oh, I had the terrible sciatica. And I said, I'm going to the doctor and see what's going on. I said, okay, let me know. So the next couple of days I saw him again, and they want me to take me to the surgery and cut my, my back. And I said, well, is this every day that you have pain? No, it kind of comes and goes. And I said, well, I would highly recommend you go on my diet and lifestyle and start, keep up the walking, but actually let's get rid of the animal products. This can cause a lot of inflammation in your body, and That's interesting because it's not all the time. It depends on, kind of correlating to what I'm eating. So he actually went on my diet and he actually felt better. What do you know? And he didn't have to have surgery and ended up having uh, a reversal of his whole condition. His sciatica disappeared completely. And so he is walking 8 miles a day now again. So really great, wonderful. And I told him, you got to lay off the animal products. He tends to come back to them on a regular basis. But I said, keep moving in my direction. So, and the more he stays away from, the better he feels. So that's a plus. There's absolutely no doubt about it. Also, another lady that I met, we walk dogs. My walker are little dogs. We have a little white dog, a little black dog, and I meet a lot of people walking dogs. And this lady and her husband are walking their golden retriever, and all of a sudden I didn't see him for a couple of days, and all of a sudden I saw him again, and she was barely walking. I said, "What's going on?" And she said, "Well, I got terrible sciatica. It's really bad." And as you can see that, they're her and their dog there. Anyway, and she said, "Oh, I'm in pain, terrible pain. I can hardly walk." And well, she was already a vegetarian. You know what I mean? A vegetarian. I said, "Wow, vegetarian. Are you laying off the dairy products?" He said, "No, I didn't know about that." And she said, "Hey, I'm going to give that a try. Why not? I mean, everything else, the doctors are not helping." So I said, "Go on my diet, lay off the dairy products, and I tell you for sure that things are going to get better." So this lady actually did that, and a week later I saw her, and she was came up to me. She said had her husband hold their dog, and she came up and gave me a hug and says, "I didn't know that dairy products are causing that kind of pain in me, and my pain is gone now." It's like, wow. She gave me a big hug. That was really nice. I appreciated that very much. But the most important thing was that she really was out of pain completely, and no longer having pain, and that is a wonderful thing to see. And so I recommended that she follow my diet exactly and keep going on my diet. And as to this day, she's been pain-free, so really wonderful. So these are things that happen, and when you start going on my diet, the pain disappears. You no longer have the aches. You no longer have the terrible pains. You no longer have diseases coming up for you, and it's a wonderful thing. Also, getting into meditation to get rid of the stress, which is also another one. And very important, because stress can cause all kinds of problems, from high glucose to high cholesterol to all kinds of things. And we want to get rid of that stress. My dad died of a stress heart attack at 57. So it's not good. Stress will kill us. There's absolutely no doubt about it. So take the time to do the meditation every day. It's something I don't go without. If you want to get a hold of me, my phone number is 831-869-9119. 831-869-9119. My email was drpaulhaider@gmail.com. That's drpaulhaider@gmail.com. You can see all this down below. You can click on Show More. Also, my Skype address is drpaulhaider. You can connect with me there. And I'll help you in any way, shape, or form. I do ask for a donation. I appreciate that because I want to keep my research going and helping people in great ways. And I want to make sure that you're feeling great. And I just had a man who had terrible kidney disease, and now he's making a recovery. And wow, really, really nice. And he made a nice donation, and I appreciate that. And also, if you make a donation, absolutely positively, you have a phone consult with me that comes with that, and or a Skype consult, and we can talk about what your health challenges are and how we can get through this to make you really healthy and change your life in general. And you can be happy, healthy, and enjoying life. And so feel free to contact me. Everything is important, and maybe you have a spiritual question. Maybe we need to move in a different direction in your life. I just met a man. We had a whole gathering here last night, and he's a chiropractor and he's been working. He's helping a lot of people, but at the same time, he's not doing his body good, and he's kind of working himself to death. And when that's not a great thing, we need to have R&R, rest and relaxation. And if we don't do that, we're doing our bodies a disservice. So remember to love thyself, and you can love everybody else after that. So if you don't love the God within, how can you love anybody else? That's important. So have a great day, and remember the most important thing is to remember, I love you.